Good morning. Well, it's about 8:15 in the morning, which means technically, if this were 1957, the Federation of Malaya would be 8 hours and 15 minutes old, because this is Hari Merdeka Day. I'm in the elevator at my hotel, by the way. And I was in the elevator of my hotel at 8:15 in the morning because I'm on my way to meet Daryl from the WanderEats YouTube channel, and my friend meeting Daryl for breakfast. And this may or may not be a wise idea because I'm so tired. I had such a busy, my life has just been sort of out of control for quite a few days. And yesterday I was so busy the entire day, just on the go, it felt like. I covered 29 kilometers of moving around KL yesterday. And then at about 11 at night, I made the snap decision to actually go to Merdeka Square for the fireworks and the big ceremony. Then I decided to walk back to my hotel because I just figured the monorail, the LRT, everything would be jammed. So I just walked the whole way. It wasn't that far, like 2.5 kilometers. But basically I didn't really get much sleep because I got back here and I had to do a whole bunch of stuff. And then I don't think I went to bed till 3 or something like that. But then I got a message from Daryl saying he's heading out of town for a while, going on a trip, and to see him I have one opportunity: breakfast this morning. And so yeah, I'm off to meet Daryl for breakfast. I don't feel hungry at all, to be honest. It's too early for me to feel hungry, considering basically I just went to bed. You can hear it in my voice, I'm not really rested. But yeah, still meet up with Daryl, have a light breakfast, have a coffee, tell him all my stories, hear all his stories, things like that. And one of the reasons I'm so flustered and a little bit out of it right now is ongoing technology problems. What is it about me that I'm such a magnet for these issues? And they're small ones, and yet nothing I do ever goes smoothly. Like nothing, ever. And the most recent one, yesterday, one of the things I did to celebrate Merdeka was to buy myself a Merdeka present, which is a very small, very lightweight, amazing JBL Bluetooth speaker, the Go 4. And I love that thing. I used to have a JBL Clip 3. It was given to me, as I said yesterday, by a YouTube Planet Doug subscriber. And I didn't know anything about Bluetooth speakers. Never had one, didn't really know much about them. Didn't use one like on a regular basis. And once I got that Clip 3, it just became a centerpiece of my whole life. I loved that thing. And I basically used it constantly, and I wore it out. So I haven't had one for a while, and I thought it was time to replace it. And right out of the gate, I love the Go 4. I paired it with my phone, and it just worked beautifully. But as soon as I got it back to my hotel, I paired it with a second phone, because sometimes I use podcasting on one phone, but YouTube videos on another, and then I use it with my laptop. So I paired it with my laptop as well, and now it disconnects constantly because I'm connected to one device, but because it's paired with multiple devices, they interfere with each other. And it just shuts down, shuts down, shuts down, shuts down, shuts down. So for all of last night, all of this morning, I've been doing all the troubleshooting. How in the world can I pair it with multiple devices, but only use it with one device at a time without it shutting down? Because it's not supposed to do that.
Please give way for passengers to disembark.
She's so loud.
Please leave after your
Oh. I love the public transit system in KL, but man, sometimes the announcements just get out of control because they have so many announcements about they have the women's carriages only, so these carriages are only for women and children or whoever, and please, all you men, go somewhere else. You get that announcement, you get public safety and announcements, just announcement after announcement, and just never seem to stop. And if they're really, really loud, yeah, it really gets to me. But yeah, I eventually figured out a fix for 2 smartphones, and then this morning I turned on my laptop, and as soon as I turned on my laptop, the speaker disconnected from my phone because the Bluetooth on my laptop interfered, and I kept hitting, play, but every time it would play for a few seconds and then shut down again because there's interference from the 2 devices. And somehow this interference meant that Bluetooth itself on my laptop just disappeared. It's just not there. And so I'm trying to figure out, and I need Bluetooth on my laptop because I use a Bluetooth mouse. I can't turn off Bluetooth on my laptop. It has to be on all the time. Anyway, it's just a little thing, a little Bluetooth speaker, that's all. I'm not launching a space shuttle, I'm not doing anything big, and yet this Bluetooth speaker has already consumed hours of my life just trying to get it to work properly. Like nothing ever works for me, and I don't understand it. I'm like a magnet for these issues, and I'm exhausted. Yeah. Anyway, I'm spending a lot of time here actually, Titiwangsa station, and this time I'm transferring to the MRT, meeting Daryl at Jalan Ipoh station. 8:34, so I've got plenty of time. I'm meeting Daryl at 9 at Jalan Ipoh. I should be able to get there without too much difficulty. So as I mentioned before, Titiwangsa is very cool because it gets the LRT, the MRT, and the monorail all link up at the same place. So it's a major transportation hub. And the Go KL buses, they also come here. So there's a bus terminal over there as well. And the other day I went that way to get to the LRT. Today I go this way to go to the MRT. And I think I go way, way down into the earth to finally get to the MRT. I think some of the tech issues that I experience routinely are connected with my laptop because there's something about it. When I got this laptop, I was looking for the most editing power I could get at the most economical price, and that led me to gaming laptops because that's just, yeah, if you're looking for as much editing power as possible, and then you're looking at a gaming laptop, the lower end ones, and then, yeah, that's what I did. But it turns out gaming laptops are dramatically different in many, many ways from other laptops, which I didn't know. And maybe because of that, I'm facing issues I don't know. But I mean, I do use AI now to troubleshoot quite a bit, and that can be a little bit frustrating because I'll get instructions like, oh, just go to settings, go to this menu, that menu, click on this button. And then I go there, and of course the button they want me to click on just isn't there. And I tell the AI, well, no, once again, the thing you're telling me to click on is not there. Trust me. And every time I say that, I feel like the AI must go, oh, he's just not seeing it. He's a dummy. But I'm telling him, trust me, it is not there. And they say, oh, well, then go here, go here, go there. And I go there, and the thing they're trying to tell me to find there isn't there either. And we just go around and around and around. It says, oh, you must be on an older version of Windows. I'm like, no, Windows 11, latest, everything's updated. But everything I'm told to go find and click on or change doesn't ever exist. And weird things happen that even I know don't make any sense at all. Just constantly like, oh, I won't even go into it. But anyway, that's what I've been doing since I woke up this morning. I wasn't expecting to spend like an hour and a half troubleshooting my speaker. But this, like I said, the moment I turned on my laptop this morning, it turned off the speaker. And then Bluetooth on my laptop disappeared. It just vanished, and it's not there anymore. And I can't find it. And I've had that experience in the past. There's Jalan Ipoh, by the way. Titiwangsa, Sentul Barat, and then Jalan Ipoh. That's where I'm heading. Yeah, we're going to a really interesting, like, Kopitiam kind of place. Like a food, like lots and lots of different food vendors. And yeah, Daryl, he's the master of food in KL. And he gave me a list of like 7 places, Google Maps pins. And said, okay, you choose, which one would you like? And he focused on places in Chao Kit because that's where I'm staying. And I looked at all of those, but they all seemed a little bit too heavy for me. I just wasn't in the mood for a full-on, like, rendang rice kind of breakfast. I wanted more of a simple breakfast. So none of the places in Chao Kit appealed to me. And he did suggest, well, we could go back to this Kopitiam that we visited before that I really liked. And yes, that's where I want to go. I may even just have a coffee and not even bother with food. We'll see. Inside the MRT train. I love that map. So detailed and so informative. There's Titiwangsa. You can see all the interchanges. Real hub station. And we're only going to Jalan Ipoh. Don't tell Daryl, but funny story. I was just talking about how I was up so late and yeah, meeting Daryl for breakfast. But Daryl was also awake all night long. He's a real night owl. So we were chatting back and forth late at night. And so we're making arrangements to meet, and we chose 9 a.m. to meet. And right now, it's 8:45. 15 minutes early, which is what I normally am, and I'm here. I'm at the place where we're supposed to meet. And I just got a message from Daryl saying, like, let me know when you're on your way. Maybe, like, can we change it to 9:30 or 10, our meeting for breakfast? So apparently he's struggling as much as I am this morning, but I didn't tell him on the message. I just said, yeah, sure, 9:30 is fine, and he said, message me when you're on your way. And I didn't have the heart to tell him that, in fact, I'm here now. Again, I don't mind. I'll just go find a coffee machine, I hope, and hang out and enjoy a coffee of some kind. I almost walked past this because I saw Minute Mart and I assumed it was a convenience store, so I didn't even look at it. I was going to continue up the escalator and look for a coffee, a vending machine, but it turns out these messages are driving me crazy. I can't think. Stop talking to me. Too many announcements. But anyway, all the coffees are here, so that's where I'm going to get my coffee. Let's see if I can figure this out. We have cold cafe latte, hot white coffee, cappuccino premium hot, and I assume I can pay with the power of touch and go. Okay, select product. So I chose one. Oh, it's all in Japanese. Okay, I chose one. Now I don't know what to do. Everything is in Japanese. There's nothing here. I guess I could Google Translate all of this. But this is really weird. Okay, that's sugar, cream, coffee, and yeah, I don't know where the go button is. No ice. So these are all your selections. It's a complete mystery to me. I don't know what to do. I can choose. I've selected something. And then do I press this button? It just keeps saying select product. Yeah, I give up. I have no idea how to use it. Yeah, there are no other buttons. There's nothing else I can do. There's no screen. There's nothing else I can press. Maybe if I just hold something in front of the screen, it will just do something. So let me activate the power of touch and go. Okay, select. Now just do this. Luckily, I have another choice. I can just get myself a Wanda. They're good. Original Wanda. 3 ringgit. And then I can scan. Oh, I scan their code. Oh, okay. There we go. Okay, that makes sense to me. I think this machine is broken. Now this should work. See, I'm not completely a moron. Woo. Floor is covered in ants. Yeah, I think what's supposed to happen is when you make your selection, then this screen should change. And it should say, scan the QR code, just like that one did. But it doesn't, nothing happened. So I think that machine is broken. It's not my brain that's broken. Anyway, I have a cold coffee. And Daryl said our meeting point, I should exit at Mutiara Complex. And there it is there. So Pintu A. Exit A. With my ice cold Wanda. I had to work pretty hard to get this iced coffee, let me tell you. Yeah. And there's a Coffee Bot cafe here. I'll bet you that would have been a better machine. Looks much more advanced. And it's probably English and Malay. Exit A. Complex Mutiara.
Beberapa stesen yang terlibat akan beroperasi dari jam 9 pagi pada setiap hujung minggu bergilir.
More announcements. Please be quiet.
Attention to all passengers. WanderEats line is undergoing phase 2 signaling system upgrade from September until October 2025. During this period, involved stations will start operations at 9 a.m. on selected weekends. For detailed information, please refer to the Rapid KL website or social media channels. Thank you.
I'm right underneath a giant speaker. Look at the size of that thing. But I think I'm supposed to meet Daryl somewhere around here. He sent me a pin. I gotta check the pin.
2585 untuk kongsikan maklumat kejadian. Terima kasih.
I can't think. Please be quiet.
If you experience sexual harassment,
I've heard that announcement a dozen times already. Just this morning. Anyway, I can't believe it. Those announcements just ended, and now another one has started. It's melting my brain. Okay. So this is probably the exit. Daryl intended for me to take, but oh yeah, this is a pickup point, right? You can see cars can drive in here, pick people up easily. Daryl knows these things. He is the master. I'm the master of the transit system. He's the master of driving. But this is another part of the MRT system, and there's speakers here too, so I'm going to get all the announcements even while I'm sitting here. Maybe I can grab that bench over there as far away as possible from the speakers. There is a bench here, but it is one of these anti-sleeping benches. So uncomfortable. It just hurts my butt. From a long distance away, I can hear the announcements continuing and continuing and continuing. And yeah, it's okay over here. Enjoying my cold Wanda. Yeah, technology, that's going to be the theme of the morning anyway, because when I'm meeting up with Daryl, he said he was going to bring his DJI Action 5 camera with his multiple Bluetooth speakers. And yeah, he was just suggesting that I use his camera while we're having breakfast, and I can just play around with the, basically, I think he's interested in how the audio sounds. Because one of the advantages of the DJI system, they've developed a very good but proprietary system where their microphones can connect to the camera without a receiver and without a cord, obviously. It's like a Bluetooth transmission. And for most other cameras, that Bluetooth audio is not very good. But DJI cracked the code somehow, and they get excellent audio. Like in my case with the GoPro, I have a Rode Wireless Go, which means I have to mount a receiver on the camera, plug it into the GoPro Media Mod, and then have the transmitter over here. And that's, compared to what Daryl does, is incredibly complicated, and it makes my GoPro big, like really big and unwieldy and heavier. So in fact, it would be very convenient to use the DJI with one of their mic systems. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. So there's kind of probably going to be technology talk over breakfast as well. But even while I was sitting here, the battery in my GoPro died because I've started shooting in the 4:3 aspect ratio. That seems to work out okay. And that means I can shoot in 2.7K, and the GoPro is not overheating. It overheats in 4K, but 2.7K seems to be okay. So far it hasn't overheated, at least not since I started experimenting. But it uses up the battery faster. It takes more power than 1080p. And my GoPro batteries, when I have to change them now, I put a piece of thread underneath the battery because the battery swells up in the GoPro and then I can't get it out. So I need something like a harness underneath the battery, and then I grab the thread and pull the battery out. And I was just trying to do that now, and I couldn't get the battery to budge. I couldn't move it. So I started pulling harder and harder and harder, applying more and more pressure, and suddenly it broke free. But I was applying so much pressure, my arm like jerked into the air and my GoPro battery just went flying. I don't think anybody on the planet does the things that I end up doing. But here it was okay because this is a wide open space and my battery just went clickety-clacketing down the cement and into the grass over there, and I could retrieve it. But if you're like in a very crowded city area, there might be like grates going down into the sewer system or something, and you're trying to pull out your GoPro battery and it goes flying through the air, you're probably going to lose it. It's going to fall through a grate and end up in the sewer. But yeah, nobody seems to deal with the things that I deal with. The Daryl mobile has arrived. I think I will confess to him that I've been here this whole time. That'll be funny.
Hello!
Hello, Daryl, in the Daryl mobile, as I called it.
Long time no see.
Yeah, I guess it has been.
Yeah.
Though, with,
About 70 days, I guess.
yeah, with all the videos and other WhatsApping, it feels like
Yeah.
it really hasn't been that long. You know, we're still in contact all the time.
That's true.
And I said I was going to confess something.
Oh.
When you sent me the message, I was already here. So,
Holy moly.
yeah, like, are you awake? I was like, well, yeah, I was already here. I was just having a cup of coffee. I was Patreoning. I was editing video. I was doing all these things.
Here, sitting here.
No, I was actually in the station
Okay.
at that time. This one here,
I see,
Jalanipo. And there was like one of those you and I connect with you on vending machines all the time. But I wanted to get a coffee.
Coffee bot.
No, there was a different one there.
Yeah.
And it was a Japanese one. And I could not get it to work. I could not figure it out. I was there
wow.
such a long time. Yeah. I'm pretty sure the machine was broken. It's all on video, so you can watch later on. And you can tell me,
All right.
was I being the usual dummy that I am, or was the machine broken? Because there were no other buttons.
I see.
I selected my product, and then nothing. There was there's no next stage. I did Google Translate on all the Japanese text. I investigated from top to bottom. Spent a long time. I wasn't going to give up. And then I eventually had no choice. I had to give up. But then when I did the Wanda machine, it was exactly the same, where you just select your product, one button press, but then the display changed to a QR code and said, scan the code to pay. So in the Japanese machine, it didn't change.
I see.
So at no point was I given a QR code to scan. So I think it was broken.
Oh, yeah.
But
Highly likely.
yeah,
But does it have like a cash machine or anything?
it did have like an input, yeah, but it didn't say anything
Yeah, you
about like start or enter money or. Anyway, I was trying to do touch and go. It never even occurred to me to try to put money in. Like,
Yeah.
I use touch and go so much, I'm like, money? Like you tell me about money, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot about money. Because nobody will take money anymore, really. It's a huge hassle. Well, they'll take your money, but they don't want it on paper. They want it in digital form.
Digital. Because you mentioned Japanese, because when in Japan, a lot of their machines takes cash.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. It just seems so odd to me that there's a machine there that is in nothing but Japanese. Like,
Yeah, that's strange to me too.
wouldn't the company want to put it into another language?
Exactly. You will check it out.
Yeah, so I may be a little bit hyper, just because like lack of sleep, and I've been so busy.
No
So I'm gonna have to try to calm down a little bit. Yeah, your message was like, are you awake yet? And I told the truth. Yes, I was awake, barely,
Yeah.
but I was already at Jalanipo. No, I got here a lot faster than I expected.
Oh,
I'm still getting used to being in Chowkit.
yeah.
And as soon as I got up to the monorail, just zoom, Titiwangsa, 2 stops, and I was there. It's like, oh, I'm here already.
Yeah, 2 stops.
I left in plenty of time, so
Yeah,
I left too early this
you
time.
are extremely close.
Yeah.
Chowkit is very close.
Right now. So we've arrived. You call this a Kopitiam?
Yeah, this is Kopitiam.
And we're going to head out. But as I mentioned earlier, Daryl brought his Action 5. So, man, I look at that, and it's so small compared to my GoPro plus Media Mod plus Rode Wireless Go. I mean, it's like the tiny brother by comparison. So that's very cool. And the DJI mics connect via Bluetooth with I think it's proprietary to them, right?
No, it's not. You can still use it with the Insta or even the GoPro.
Yeah, but it isn't as good.
The quality,
Yeah.
yeah, the higher for DJI to DJI.
Yeah.
It's actually quite a lot.
Yeah. So when you hear the audio on the DJI via Bluetooth, it sounds great. But if you do the Bluetooth connection to a GoPro, it doesn't sound acceptable to me. But anyway, I'm going to switch from my GoPro for my babbling here to the Action 5, and we have two Bluetooth mics. He's going to have one, I'm going to have one. Just two YouTubers, we got to experiment. We can't help it, right? So technology experiment. So switching over to the DJI Action 5 Pro.
Yeah.
Action 5 Pro. So exciting. So there it is. I mean, on my GoPro screen, it's so small. At first, I didn't know where it was. Hey, where is that Action? There it is, right there. I got to get very close to it. It's so tiny. And I have this giant grip assembly that I put together because I love the GoPro jaws so much. And then I have an extension arm on the end of it, and way up at the top, the tiny Action 5. Look at that. Very cute.
Is there a difference in weight?
Well, I'm not feeling it
Not
that
really,
much
right? Yeah.
because my grip is already so heavy.
Oh yeah.
This is metal.
Yeah.
All these different thumb screws and yeah. But yeah, it must be. But I mean, you can feel how heavy my GoPro is. You know, with the media mod and the
Maybe
road.
when you're walking around, you will know the difference.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty over the top for mounting that tiny camera. It feels out, but I guess I would get used to it. But thank you very much, Daryl. I get.
Yeah, I wish.
He's letting me take you home. No, he's not.
And now we're here.
Yeah, the inaugural video clip from the Action 5 Pro. And we both have a mic on right now. I've got it's a DJI Mic 2, right?
Yeah, that's why it's a bit heavy.
And I have mine under my shirt. You can't see it. He's got his as well, but with a magnet holding it on. We had to fiddle with the settings a little bit because I'm insane and I'm using a GoPro. I have mine set, as I talked about, 4:3 aspect ratio, 2.7K, and we set up the DJI Action 5 identically, so it's also shooting in 4:3 aspect ratio, 2.7K, and then in the editing program, I change it to 16:9. So anyway, just in terms of comparing the Action to the GoPro, they're set up exactly the same, which is kind of cool. Yeah. All right.
Let's have breakfast.
Breakfast time. So cute. This little thing.
Yep. Tiny.
It's tiny, man.
Oh, I forgot my phone.
Yeah. I guess a lot of the advantages would come in setup because when I get my GoPro ready, I mean, it's a thing because the GoPro goes inside the media mod, and then I have to attach the Rode Wireless Go receiver and plug a cord from the receiver into the media mod. It's a whole production. But with something like this, with a Bluetooth audio from the microphone, there's nothing. And changing batteries would be a lot easier because like I told just this morning when I was trying to get the GoPro battery out, I had to disconnect it from the mount, remove the GoPro from the media mod, and then I'm trying to pull the battery out and it goes flying. But then once I get the new battery in, then I have to reassemble the whole thing, like the entire mounting apparatus back in the media mod, thumb screw, and with this you just pop open the side door, change the battery, and you're done. So many advantages to this, but I have to get used to the tiny size. It's like, yeah, there it is.
You still remember their ordering system? You should be
Yeah,
okay.
vaguely.
Good.
You walk around and tell them your table number, right?
Yeah.
I saw a picture online. Someone had some kind of a, not Western style breakfast, but it was something bread based, like a sandwich. I'm sort of in the mood for that if it exists, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Once we have a table, then I can go
Explore.
foraging.
Foraging. Oh, this is popular in Indonesia.
Oh yeah. Okay. So here's another food place.
Yeah, the morning market.
Oh, morning market, yeah. And a lot of food in there.
I'll try to get the same table and.
Okay. I'll follow you.
All right.
So here's the place. Actually, I don't know if there's a sign with a name on it on the outside, just to establish where we are. Yeah, very, very crowded here. I can't even fit in between the cars. Oh yeah, so there's a sign up here. Keng Nam Hai. Very well known, famous place since 1948. Looks really busy. Oh, again, yeah, this is the official Merdeka holiday day, so it makes sense that it would be busier than normal. Oh, we're upstairs. Yeah, he probably had to go on a real journey to find an empty table for us. Oh, it's nice up here. It's air conditioned. Not as atmospheric as downstairs. There's more atmosphere downstairs, but it's nice and cool up here.
White coffee, kurang manis. Suap, panas. Besar, sorry. What would you like?
Cham?
Cham.
Ice cham?
Ice, okay. Ice cham. Okay, go foraging.
Table number? I don't see one.
There. B15, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
there's 16. B15.
Yeah, B15, yeah. So, table number B15. And now I head out foraging, and all I have to do is go wherever I want, order, and then pay there, and they'll bring it to the table. Yeah, got to be careful about the steps. Yeah, like this area here is a little bit more atmospheric with the brick wall. Feels historic. And now I have to decide what I want for breakfast. So the grilled chicken chop, it's a sandwich?
Yes.
Okay. Is it one of these pictures?
Yeah.
That one, okay. Could I have that, please?
Okay, good.
B15.
Your table B15.
B15. Oh. 15 ringgit?
Yeah. Thank you.
There we are.
All right, thank you.
And what is the cup for?
For our delivery for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
They'll bring a drink to the table?
Yeah. Easy for fire.
Okay.
Because sometimes service like coming like that.
Oh, I see. To find the table.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to pour something.
No.
Now I get it. Now I get it. How long have you been here, this stall?
Around 4 to 5. 4 months.
4 months?
We just start on Monday.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's great. I was just telling my friend I was in the mood for like a sandwich breakfast, so I was very glad to see it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Like I was so confused. They gave me this cup, and I was wondering, okay, why the cup? And I thought, do I go fill the cup? Do they come fill the cup? Yes, very much so. So I asked him, okay, what's the cup for? And they gave me a long explanation, but I didn't understand anything they said. But eventually I figured out, this is to identify my table. I told them B15, but just in case that's hard to find, they look for the cup. So they have their own system for finding me.
Yeah, my turn.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, what do you order?
I did get a sandwich, I got a
Found the pink.
a chicken chop sandwich with, yeah, it's exactly what I wanted. And our drinks have arrived. I ordered a large iced cham, and it looks like it could be Tay Tarek or iced coffee. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, I just heard like late last night that another friend of mine, which he will probably show up in a video, James from Australia, he's coming into Kuala Lumpur. So that's another reason I was up so late, because we were messaging back and forth about the time he's arriving, what day, and he's actually arriving today, Sunday night, in fact. So he's arriving tonight, and yeah, so hopefully I can get together with him. And I was thinking of him because in one of his messages, he said something about looking forward to an iced cham. I think I turned him on to cham the last time he was here. Yeah, I love cham so much. He was looking forward to having some. This is a nice one. This is really nice. It's half coffee, half tea. I like it. It's smoother than like the Kampong coffee, which can be quite bitter and strong. So adding the tea kind of smooths it out a little bit. But I don't want it to be too smooth, right? I still want the sense that I'm having special Malaysian Kampong coffee. So there's a little bit of a bitter kind of, but it's smoothed out by the tea. This is perfect combination. Yeah, it's really nice. Do you have your the LED turned off? Like the flashing red light to show that it's recording? You turned it
Sorry,
off.
yeah. My bad.
I would because I'm so unfamiliar with this camera. While I was watching, I kept looking. Oh, is it recording? Because there's no flashing red light.
You could still see the recording number. That's how I tell whether it's recording.
But I was looking at it from the back, and the back was. I didn't.
Oh,
see
it's
it.
turned off.
Okay.
Unless it's turned off, then you just have to tap it. It will turn back on.
Yeah.
But you can turn it back on. Yeah. Because I usually, for this nowadays, I put it here, and I don't want anybody to know I'm recording. So.
Yeah, I did the same with the GoPro. I turned off the front LED, but I kept the rear LED on.
I see.
So then if I'm holding it, I can see. But on yours, you got both off.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're talking about this?
Yeah. I hope you like this. I'm not sure. So yours.
I don't see why I wouldn't. It looks a little bit like a martabak.
Yeah, but it's the sweet and savory one.
Okay.
Yours is here. Wow, this is huge.
Thank you very much.
Look at that.
The server found us. She took away my cup. I didn't know what the cup was for. I kind of forgot about that.
Identification.
Well, they gave it to me, and then I was like, well, where do I fill it up? Like, I didn't order a drink. Am I getting a free drink?
Yeah.
And they explained, but I couldn't hear what they were saying. Anyway, oh, look at that. There's a, that's amazing. And
first one is this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, it's basically martabak.
Oh, murtabak is usually meat.
Yeah, okay.
But this is basically some form of pancake.
Well, every martabak seems to be different. Different countries, different cities, different places. Yeah, the ones I had in Indonesia were like meat and really thick and heavy and oily. They were really something.
Yeah.
This is more like a dessert.
Correct. Do they serve with pickled onions in Indonesia?
I don't think so.
Oh. Or you just give you a sauce.
I don't remember. It was just like a big giant square.
Yeah, it is.
But it was too much for one person. The one years ago when I first went to Keng Nam Hai, I discovered martabak for the first time. I was amazed by it. I shot a whole video about it. But by the time I ate a whole one, by the time I got to the last square, it was too much.
Yeah.
Too much flavor. It was like, oh, I can't eat the whole thing.
Agreed.
So what did you order downstairs?
I'm trying for the first time is the signature curry meat. Seems like everybody ordering it, so I thought I might as well try it. But they did say it's gonna take some time. Are you okay with it? So I said, nah.
I was just saying that up here, it's not quite as atmospheric as downstairs, but the air conditioning works up here.
Yeah.
So it's cooler.
I usually come to this if it's open, because it's not always open.
Oh yeah?
It depends on the crowd. Weekdays, when I come for breakfast on weekdays, it's not open. It's only that side door, the main store. There's an air conditioned segment as well.
They could use something on the walls to dampen the sound a little bit. It's really loud.
It's very echoey. That's why I'm so curious to see how this works out. Yeah, it's very echoey.
When you were downstairs, I was recording a little bit, and I noticed that all the people at all the other tables, because I think I was shouting so loud, because I feel like I have to shout, because there's so much conversation.
Understood.
Normally, if I had the GoPro set up, I ignore the camera. I'm just focused on you, talking to you. But because it's a new experience, I find myself just sort of staring at the Action 5 all the time.
Now it's off, yeah.
Yeah. And you're saying that when you tap the screen, the rear or the front, that becomes the active screen. Meaning the menu works.
So you can tap it now.
Like if I tap the front.
There you go, then you swipe.
Oh, swipe. Oh, I missed it. But
No, you still have to, because it's locked. So currently the back is the main. So you want to switch, you have then this becomes the main.
I see.
So the back behind you have to tap and swipe as well to make that the main.
Okay.
Yeah. It's to ensure you don't accidentally press it.
Right, makes sense. I need to check.
Sometimes I do forget that this fella has a built-in memory, so
And guess who is arriving in Kuala Lumpur tonight?
Your benefactor?
Well, there's a story there too.
Okay. Jamie?
Jason Robb.
Wow.
Flying in tonight.
Wow. That's awesome. How long is he here for?
He's
just transit?
He's going to be in KL for like 5 days until Friday. Then I think he's going to Malacca. He's got a lot going on. He told me a bunch of stuff in his messages, but
Okay.
he was in Japan for a long time.
Yeah. I communicated with them on that.
Yeah.
Well, he saw some of my Japan videos, so he commented, "Hey, I'm there."
So he says hi.
All right. Unfortunately, hopefully he'll come back to KL before he leaves. Then I'll be able to see him.
You'll be able to see him. Yeah.
Because Friday I'm flying back from Bangkok. I think I'm arriving about 5 p.m. Yeah. Tiring day. Travel days are always tiring days.
Yeah.
So technically, this telecine can also go in here, right? So
That's what I do.
yeah.
When I was in Sumatra towards the end, for some reason, I kept forgetting to bring this, like to take it out with me. So there's so many instances I wanted a hands-free perspective, and then, I didn't pack it again. I don't know why. I kept forgetting to bring it. But since I come back here, I just have it around my neck all the time. Just in case I want to use it. You know, you go through the MRT turnstile or whatever. You're ordering a drink. And then I just...
That's true. I wonder whether audio situations like this is when you need noise cancellation.
Could be. I know the road is not good in these situations. The road sucks in everything. It doesn't isolate your voice, so yeah.
Well, we'll see. Or we can turn them on if you want.
So the problem with the Action 4, you cannot have two mics connected by Bluetooth. For that, you need the 5. They haven't upgraded that or fixed it or firmware or something.
From what I heard, they can't, so I don't know why. But even so, I mean, the main reason, one of the reasons, besides having both dual mics, is the speed of connection of the mic as well. Yeah, because the 4 is like you turn it on. It takes a while.
GoPro takes forever.
It's consistent. It's always connect. It just takes a while. You know, like bloody 20 seconds or 30 or 25 seconds. This is even faster than the Pocket 3.
Oh yeah?
The Pocket 3 is fast, but this is even faster.
I think I'm going to be very delicate, and I'm going to eat my sandwich with a knife in it. It's very wet. I tried to pick it up, but it's very wet and gooey.
Oversized the meat compared to the good idea. Oh, look at French Doug.
Yeah. It's a Seinfeld episode where all the fancy people started eating their Snickers bar, and it became a trend. Everybody started doing it. So. It's a nice piece of chicken.
Yeah, it looks very well, nicely done. Still moist, I can see. Yeah, it's not like dry. It's good. Did you order this directly with the counter or the main counter, right?
What is the main counter?
The drinks counter.
No?
Oh no.
Well, maybe, I don't know. It was a separate little stall.
Oh, okay. And the back inside.
Right here, like
here.
as soon as you come down the stairs, it was right there.
I see. Okay. Oh, the Western food guy. The Western stall, I think. Yeah, I know.
mean,
the one that sells spaghetti.
Maybe.
I think he sells this as well.
I think the spaghetti one is a different one.
Oh, really?
I did ask. He said he's been open for like 4 months. This guy.
Oh, okay. That's pretty recent. Okay.
That's another reason I got very little sleep, because Jason and I were sending messages back and forth.
Got it.
And I was trying to get details from him. Because he decided at the last minute that, you're arriving like today. We got confused because it was like 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'm still thinking it's still Saturday, but no, today is. So every time I turned off the light and I closed my eyes to go to sleep, I got another message from Jason. So I had to take a look and.
You have to press and don't let go.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to.
Yeah, you didn't have to, sorry. Yeah. Quick capture, alright.
So Daryl's meal has arrived. And you said it was a curry mee.
Yeah.
But you said it was a special curry mee or something?
Signature.
Yeah. Okay. And they did say it would take a little bit of time. But
no kidding.
It didn't really take that long.
Yeah, it was fine.
That's a pretty elaborate.
Yeah. I didn't know that they give this, so.
Yeah, I was just telling Daryl that That's the sort of meal I just wasn't in the mood for this morning. It's just too much for me to face. So I got a basic chicken chop sandwich.
By the way, this is a small portion.
Oh, that's a small. Wow.
Yeah.
That could feed a small village, maybe.
Holy moly. There's a lot.
Good luck with that.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. You haven't had it before?
No, my first time here. For this location, yes. First time. In moments like this, I'm curious how does medium or large looks like. Should be ginormous. It smells good though. The coconut curry broth.
Would you call that a Malaysian dish?
Yeah, it is. Yes. Very Malaysian. You can find it in Singapore as well, of course.
How much was it?
10.
10 ringgit? This was 15.
Oh, okay.
15.
But that's a humongous piece of chicken.
It's a good piece of chicken.
Yeah.
I'm very pleased.
It's not like thin chicken as well, right?
Yeah.
It's huge, thick.
I think they're being too generous, but maybe because they're new, maybe over time.
Yeah, 4 months old. Huh?
I don't think they needed to go this much chicken that thick. It's, I think, very, very generous portion.
Yeah, it is. If you do come back, there is a bak kut teh stall downstairs on the outside. Yeah, they were just setting up just now anyway. So, but you order the dry bak kut teh. Oh man, it's amazing. So good.
I'm very proud of myself that when you say bak kut teh, like, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Normally I'd just be like, huh? What? I was really surprised last night when I went to the Merdeka celebrations. I was trying to explain it on video last night, but I couldn't find the words for it. I was too tired, I think.
Right.
But there was a sense of unity and joy among the people there. It was. I was kind of taken aback by it because you wouldn't see that in Canada.
Really?
No, I mean, everybody is proud of their country or proud to be Canadian. Well, I'm not particularly. I'm not a patriotic or nationalistic kind of person. But I don't know. There was something about what was going on there at the Merdeka Square. A joy amongst all the people, like everybody was like part of the same family, the same group. And there was a big stage there, and they were doing, of course, musical performances, singing and dancing, but there's also drama involved.
Oh, okay, that's new.
They were telling the history of Malaysia in a dramatic setting with actors coming out on stage and performing little plays. And then the play would evolve into a performance. They start singing.
Wow, that's new.
And there was like, they were celebrating the armed forces, then the police, then the nurses, then the doctors. Like everybody came out in uniforms.
Yeah.
So suddenly you had like nurses or doctors doing a dance number, and then they go backstage and they change into their engineer uniform, and then they come out and they're dancing again. Like everybody got their little moment in the sun, and there was such a calmness to it, like a giant field. And I was thinking, well, there's no way you're getting anywhere near the stage because it's going to be jammed with people. But no, it was like the whole field was covered, but everybody was sitting down. Nobody was standing. The whole field. And there was like a little family having a picnic here, and then here was another family having a picnic, and a group of friends over here. And then in between them, you were just natural pathways. I've never seen anything like that before. Everyone was spaced out perfectly.
leaving room, and I could just walk through the entire field, go all the way to the front. And then when I got to the front, I'm always really worried that I don't want to block anyone's view. So whenever I stopped walking, I would crouch down, get down on my knees, just because everybody was sitting. I've never seen anything like that before. That's what I mean. Like there was a unity there. Everyone doing the same thing. There wasn't any sense of a big crowd. You get that tension, stress in a big crowd. Everybody trying to get to the front near the stage. None of that was going on. Everybody was just relaxed and enjoying themselves. And it was almost like a family gathering of 10,000 people. That's what it felt like.
Do you see a lot of foreigners there?
A scattering, but no, not really. Yeah, there was so much going on that was interesting to me.
It's a week of celebration, and some parts will go on until 2 weeks from now as well, because of Malaysia Day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked. The way I organized my day yesterday, I wanted to do kind of a tour, a physical tour of Merdeka. So that's why I returned to the Tunku Memorial, and I was talking about how Malaysia has Merdeka, like Independence Day, and then Malaysia Day. There's so many celebrations, different stages. And then during the day, I went to Merdeka Square. After I went to the memorial, and then I tried to go to the Merdeka Stadium because that's the next place.
Yeah.
And then
That's quite a walk.
I walked a lot, but I did hop into the LRT, MRT whenever I could. But yeah, by the end of the day, I'd covered 29 kilometers inside.
My good
Either
Lord.
on foot or in the monorail sort of thing.
Wow.
Covered a lot of ground.
Yeah. That's crazy.
As I said earlier in the video that I celebrated Merdeka in my own way, Planet Doug's special celebration, which means going to Loyat Plaza for the Merdeka sales. Gotta buy a gadget.
Yeah.
So I did.
What did you get?
I got another Bluetooth speaker.
Okay.
My old one broke down. It doesn't work anymore. And I really depend on that thing. So I got a smaller one. But I'm having all kinds of trouble with it that I didn't have with my old one.
Wow.
Because, well, maybe my old one, I didn't use it in the same way.
Okay.
My old one, I paired it with my podcast phone, and maybe that's all I did. But this new one, I paired it with my podcast phone, but I also paired it with my laptop.
Okay.
Because the speaker is so much better than my laptop speakers.
Yeah, for sure.
But they interfere with each other.
Oh.
So if I'm listening to a podcast from my phone, as soon as I turn on the laptop and Bluetooth kicks in, it cuts it off.
Yeah.
And I can't,
Yeah.
I haven't been able to fix it. I've been fighting, figuring it out. Another reason I'm so tired.
It's quite a common issue actually.
Yeah? That's
Usually you just turn off one of the device Bluetooth.
But on my laptop I can't because I use Bluetooth to connect to my mouse.
Yeah. Or you go into the Bluetooth setting and disconnect the speaker.
I couldn't. I went looking for all these settings and I couldn't find them. And then in the middle of that, like I restarted everything, I rebooted everything, and the same thing happened where the speaker would just stop playing. It's still paired with my phone, but it would just turn off. And then when I looked at my laptop, my mouse wouldn't work anymore. because Bluetooth had been completely disabled. It was gone. There was like no Bluetooth anymore because of that speaker. And I'm like, oh, of course. How could it be otherwise, you know? Nothing ever works.
You're not alone with Bluetooth. It's common. I had the same issue the other day with my what's that? Is it my Bluetooth headphone or no, my phone, I think. Yeah, my phone. So my phone is connected to my car via Bluetooth, right?
Yeah.
So when I answer a call, I can talk through the sound system because there's a mic up there.
Okay.
So I could use it that way. So I was driving, leaving the house and all that. So I was talking on the phone and suddenly it got cut off. I could still hear him talk for a bit. That also it was cut off. But my phone was still connected because we were talking on WhatsApp call. I was like, what the heck is going on? So I turned it on, I called him again, everything works, then less than 30 seconds, same thing happened. I was like, what the heck is going on? Later, the culprit is actually because my wife was behind me, which I didn't know, but she was leaving her house as well, I knew that. But my phone was fed to her sound system before as well. So then she told me the call came from her speaker. Oh my god. So I was like joking with her. Luckily I was not speaking to a girlfriend.
Right, exactly. It's a classic scene from comedies now, movies. The signals get mixed up. And,
Oh my god. I guess similar to you is, of course, quite a frustrating thing that happened because it was an important call. So rather than meddling everything with it, I just stopped at the side of the road, let my wife go, then waited another 1 minute or so, then I called him back.
The great DJI Action 5 adventure continues. Just left from that food court or Kopitiam, whatever you want to call it. Whew. Chatting with Daryl there. I feel like I was shouting the whole time because there's all the voices from around me are bouncing off the wall and the ceilings. A lot of very, very loud environment there. It's still kind of funny using this little camera. It seems so tiny to me now. There's like nothing there at all. It almost looks like a toy. Because I think the Action 5 is smaller, like the body itself is smaller than the GoPro, the Hero 12. But I have the Hero 12 inside the media mod and makes it bigger and bigger and bigger. This is just the bare camera because it's a Bluetooth connection with the microphone. Ah, your mic is on, Mr. Daryl.
Oh, okay. I didn't turn it off.
Well, I thought when I turned the camera back on, I thought it said your mic was disabled, but I think I see 2 green lines, meaning your mic is transmitting. Maybe.
Oh, because when you turned it on, I was so far away.
Oh, okay, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. How long do the mic batteries last, do you think?
Supposed
to be 6 hours?
The mini ones are longer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that new mini set, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is. Shit. I was just checking whether they sell just the transmitter. The transmitter. Yeah, luckily they do. But it's expensive.
Oh yeah?
Holy cow. It's nearly 500 ringgit each. Yikes.
Oh, for just the microphone transmitter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
One. So to get 2 is 1,000, my god. But I don't really need it. I mean, because to be able to connect with 4 mics and blah blah blah, that's only available through the receiver. Yeah.
Have to be careful about your door.
Oh,
It's like, half an inch above the pavement.
Yeah, yeah,
If I
yeah,
sit down, it'll probably
yeah, you're right.
end up gonna pull it off the sidewalk first.
Good thinking.
I'm always thinking.
Holy crap, it's hot.
There's the view out the front windshield on the Action 5. Just curious about the lighting, how it handles, especially underneath the awnings, if there's shadows and things like that, because I find the GoPro and the Insta360 in particular do very badly at that. Everything in shade is just dark. You can't make out any detail. I think the Action is better at that, showing more detail in the shadows.
Oh, the 5 especially is very good.
Yeah.
So is the Ace Pro, to be fair. Very good. I saw someone on the YouTube recently doing all her vlogs, everything on the Osmo 360.
Oh,
Yeah, but she only uses that as a single lens
right.
all the time. So she was justifying her purchase as, in case I need a 360, is there.
I guess it's reasonable, but it's also not. I mean,
I was like, interesting. Because she was about to buy the 5 Pro. So she said, I might as well just get an Osmo 360 and use it like a 5 Pro.
Yeah, as I learned, you sure can't use a 360 camera for vlogging. Like, to reframe 2 hours of video,
Yeah,
take you the rest of your life. It's just too much work. It takes too long. So
true.
it's a specialty camera.
It is. Well, I can understand the way she used it as well. So, yeah, if I didn't have it, because the single lens mode, it looks exactly the Action 5.
But again, how do you hold the X5 is tall and thin.
Yeah.
So how do you hold the thing as a single?
Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
I tried to do it with the X3, but the form factor just wasn't right for hand holding it. It's not designed to do that. The new one, the DJI, at the squatter, more square shape.
Yeah, square.
That's more reasonable because it could sit on a grip just like this.
Yeah. But
So-
it will be double the height.
Yeah, but still workable.
Yeah.
But the X5,
Because
in my
that vlogger was showing, because in the single lens mode, you choose which lens is the one recording, the front or if you're
Right.
facing the back.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So.
I was thinking if you're cycling and you wanted to mount a camera, that would be kind of handy because you just touch a button to.
Yeah,
Now
it
you're
was
recording the
front,
road ahead.
yeah.
Now record you
Yeah.
back and forth. I do it now by mounting 2 cameras,
Yeah.
syncing it, and
Correct,
it's a pretty
correct.
complicated procedure. But I still like doing it that way because if you're manually switching from rear to front view, you see something interesting ahead of you. By the time you've hit the button, you've missed it. It's passed already.
Yes. Agreed.
So
Because that requires a conscious effort to want to change. Yeah, that's true.
but if you have a camera just recording everything all the time, then you don't have to worry about it. You just worry about it when you're editing.
Yeah. But as what she said, you have that option as well, so you can just take it 360.
Yeah.
Who was it? I think David Manning or something. He was saying like this is like having two Action 5 into one. Boop.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting the same video quality though, especially exposure and things like that.
It's
It's not the same.
Slightly
thing.
off, yeah, but it's good enough.
Getting better though.
Yeah.
The X5 is much better than my X3. We are on a Daryl WanderEats tour. He heard about a new coffee shop. So after breakfast, we've come to this place, 7 Barris. Coffee, dessert, food, and chill. I don't know if it's part of the same ownership, but it's right beside or connected to this
kind of a fancy car dealership over there. Inside, 7 Barras, and they have my favorite thing in the whole world. A lot of people don't like it, but I love it. QR code system. So we've got the menu open there, and we're just looking around. What shall I have?
Hazelnut latte, normal latte, mocha, long black. I have no idea what these are.
I think I'm just doing my regular.
Vanilla latte.
Yeah, normal latte. When I saw that, that jumped out at me. Yeah, like a hot.
Temperature hot. And
Where's
on-
hotter? I want hottest.
That's special instruction.
Yeah, it's really nice in here. They got seating downstairs, and they have a seating upstairs. Whoa! Seating upstairs as well. I checked it out upstairs, and I think down here is more interesting, nicer. Feels better down here. So coffee order has been placed. What did you order for yourself?
Yuzu iced tea.
A man of imagination. Yeah, I should have got something different, but look at me pouring the water like I'm...
thank you, Mr. Douglas.
Well, I was actually pouring it for myself, but now that you mention it, that could be for you. I really was. I wasn't pouring it for you. I was just making a joke about how I'm like a sommelier,
Yeah,
right? A
exactly.
wine server.
Exactly.
I'm feeling very elegant. But yeah, I love these bottles with the that cork. Makes you feel like you're in a very fancy place.
Oh, I wanted to share with you this. I mean, we don't have to turn on the volume very loud, but I was doing this video yesterday, right?
Okay.
Okay. So there was a new feature from CapCut. So I tried it out. It's just
A new feature from
CapCut, the editing
CapCut.
software.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
It's just one click of one button. Okay. This button.
Huh.
Wait, Yeah, here. Is it? It's behind me, right?
And you just did that by itself.
Yeah, just press one button. It will transparent the video. You see my hand?
Oh.
Yeah, cool.
Huh.
Yeah. That was a nice experiment yesterday.
I was still marveling at the Action 5 because I was telling Daryl that I was so confused because I could swear I turned the camera off. Like you hold down the power button for a second or two and the camera powers down, which I did, I thought, but then I would hit the power button to turn it on and it came on in a millisecond, like the camera was just on. So I thought, oh, I must not have turned it off because it powers on so fast, it feels like the camera wasn't even off, if that makes any sense. Thank you.
Wow.
We're wowing because of the latte design.
That looks like what's that? The horse from the Greek period. What's that thing called?
Pegasus?
Yeah, Pegasus.
Flying horse. Huh. Yeah. I don't know if what I just said made any sense at all, but all I'm saying is the camera is responsive. It turns on like that. And compared to a GoPro like my Hero 12, by comparison, it's like glacial. It takes so long to turn on, power up, start recording. I get used to it. It doesn't bother me day-to-day filming, but I guess if I got used to something like this, then it would probably feel way too slow by comparison. But yeah, with the GoPro, you have to think ahead. You really have to know what you want to film and push the button, and you have to wait, and it makes you really go slower.
Whoa. Wow. That is nice.
Nice coffee flavor. Very rich coffee.
Not as hot as you like, I'm guessing. Yeah, I
That's
can
always
already
the
tell.
issue. That's always the issue.
Yeah, I can already tell.
Yeah.
There's no smoke coming out of it. So,
I could
yeah.
drink the whole thing, but.
So, Planet Doug is back on the GoPro. So this, I don't even have my microphone here. Hello, hello, hello.
Do you see the...
No, it's not on the front.
Oh, I see.
So that's kind of an issue too. You can only see the on the back. So I'm constantly flipping the camera around. I have to look at the back. Okay, it's recording, and go back again. So they really should have a microphone and audio readout on the front. They should. But yeah, so there's the video from the Hero 12. In terms of audio, I'm the only one with a mic. So Daryl doesn't have a mic right now. I could get one out for him, but we've been babbling all morning, so. Just wanted to record a minute or two in the same environment to sort of see the video quality compared the Action 5 to the Hero 12. So I must say, I was complaining about the Hero 12 video quality recently, but since I started using the 4x3 2.7K, 50 frames per second, it seems to have, yeah. So it was because I was shooting at 1080p, 25 frames per second. That makes a big difference. So
You should, yeah.
anyway, so Hero 12, peace. I am back at Jalan Ipoh MRT station. Daryl just dropped me off here. And going to take this back to Titiwangsa, transfer to the monorail, back to Chow Kit. And there's a Tasty Bot vending machine. I don't know how many different companies are involved. Maybe it's the same company that owns Tasty Bot and Coffee Bot and all these different machines. I'm not sure. There's a Tasty Bot machine. Back at Titiwangsa, heading towards the monorail. That's the MRT over there. Only one stop to get from here to Chow Kit. I just missed the train by seconds. It was just leaving the platform as I was coming up the stairs. But I didn't see it ahead of me. Had I seen the train was there, I would have rushed. But I didn't see it. So I have about 10 minutes to wait until the next one shows up. And there's my hotel. I came out of the Chow Kit station from a different entrance, or different exit this time. I didn't realize I was doing that, but I just followed the stairs down, and I found myself right here, right across the road, which is, a bit more convenient, assuming you don't want, or don't feel like you have to cross at the lights. And I discovered yesterday that there's a 7-Eleven right over there. 24-hour 7-Eleven, which is kind of nice. I didn't realize there was a 7-Eleven so close. I got myself a liter of milk there late last night when I came back from the Merdeka celebrations. And here we are, door to the Crossroads Hotel. I was busy in the elevator fumbling with my wallet because I have so many cards. I have the card to open the outside door and the card to open my room door. And then I have my touch and go card, and They all look and feel exactly the same. They're just blank white cards, basically. So, yeah. I keep feeling like I've misplaced a card. I don't know where anything is. So, yeah, that is it. I'm back at the Crossroads Hotel. Been drinking coffee all morning, but I'm going to have another one right now. Plug in the kettle, have a cup of instant coffee, and it's going to be quite interesting for me to compare the Action 5 video clips I shot with Daryl's camera with the GoPro video clips that I shot at the same time, and audio, see what the audio sounds like, especially in that noisy setting at that place where we had breakfast, because there was so much conversation, loud voices bouncing off the walls. And I know my Rode Wireless Go doesn't deal with that very well. It basically sucks in all the sound from everywhere. And I think the DJI mics are very much into voice isolation and noise cancellation, which most of the time I don't like because it sounds kind of fake to me. It's got an empty sound like it was recorded in a studio as a voiceover. But in a situation like that, it might be what you want, because there's so much background noise, it'd be overwhelming. But that'll be interesting to see. But yeah, nice little camera, the Action 5. Though DJI seems to be coming out with the Action 6 shortly. And they innovate a lot at DJI. So there could be a big difference between the 5 and the 6. So that ought to be interesting to see. And of course, the new GoPro coming up in a couple of months, the GoPro Hero 14. I don't have high hopes for the 14, but you never know. GoPro might pull a rabbit out of a hat and do something really special with it. But that's it for the morning and partially into the afternoon, I guess. It's about 2 o'clock now. And I'm going to settle in, have my coffee, do some video editing, stuff like that. And as I said, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but another friend of mine is flying into Kuala Lumpur tonight from Australia, Jason. And Jason, yeah, he's going to stay in KL for a week or so, maybe go to Malacca, and hopefully Jason and I can get together tomorrow. I'm not sure what he plans to do in KL, what he's seen, what he hasn't seen. Maybe the two of us can go check out a place that neither of us has been to, or we'll just go grab a coffee and chat. I'm not sure what we're going to do. All right, that's it. Shutting down until tomorrow. Maybe the next video will be me and Jason out having breakfast and coffee. Yeah, a mirror image of me and Daryl having breakfast and coffee. So that's it. Shutting down, and see you in the next video.